Welcome to Dad's DeFi Space. I'm Kevin, and I'm so grateful that you have taken a moment out of your day to spend it with me, your guide to all things crypto and DeFi. Now, you know what the scariest thing in crypto is? Because being honest, it's not a bear market, it's a bull trap. And right now, that could be what's happening. Now, I understand that Bitcoin and ETH and altcoins are looking quite bearish today. Hold on, let's fix this. Audio's not working. Let's make sure we're still getting audio. Yes, awesome. All right. Anyway, again, for those people who are live streaming us on Zora, which we're going to start right now, welcome. And if you are one of those who just found this off of YouTube, welcome, welcome. Let's get started again so everyone can hear. You know what one of the scariest things in crypto is, ladies and gentlemen? It's not a bear market, it is a bull trap. And we may just have gone through a bull trap, and you're going to see a lot of these if we're truly in a bear market. And look, during the last year, I'm the first to admit my mistakes. I try to teach my children that on a day-to-day basis. Be a woman, be a man, stand up for what you believe in, admit when you are wrong, ask for help when you need it, make things right. And here's the thing. I was slow to call the end of the bull. I am still truly a believer in the 4-year cycle, although it could be extended, this cycle. But we have been in a bear market for quite a while, right? And I want to take us to some altcoin charts right now. And we're going to take a quick look at crypto. And we're going to take a quick look at crypto bubbles, okay? Now, if you take a look at our favorite list on crypto bubbles, and I want to start off just on the daily. 1 second. Here we go. So we are now taking a look at crypto bubbles, okay? And you can see many of the different coins and altcoins and stuff that we invested in over the last 2 years. Now, on many of these, we took profits when the market was hot. We didn't take near enough. And yes, we were expecting a final leg to the bull. But now, what I'm truly looking at is a bounce from the bottom because we've had such a severe correction. We'll take a look at some charts and some other data in a minute. But on the daily, I do not think this screen looks bullish at all. You can take a look at the weekly. Looks even worse. AVAX 10%, Zora down almost 12%, Render 10%, Virtual 10%, World Liberty almost 7%, Tau almost 8%. It does not look good. On the monthly, some of these are even worse. Virtual's down 40%, Claker down 50%. And if I go on the yearly, this is kind of what it looks like during a bear. Say 82% down, Injective 83% down, Near 78% down, Beam 90% down, and everybody was all bullish on gaming. When the liquidity is not there, and when the market is bearish, everything goes back to Bitcoin. Your altcoins will bleed heavy. That is why you must have different edges in the market to create capital for your portfolio. And there's many, many different ways to do this. If you stick around to the end of the stream, we'll cover a few. But enough looking at the bloodbath that is the crypto altcoin market. What I really would like to do is take a look at Bitcoin's chart from quite a while ago. Okay. Now, what you're taking a look at is Bitcoin's chart, and I'm showing you the last two market cycles. I've marked in a yellow box two areas of the chart that I think have a lot of similarities, right? Now, of course, this is on the weekly, and if I go to, I don't know if I can switch this to the daily, I'll have to readjust everything, right? You can see it a little better on the daily chart, kind of the chop in this area right here. And if I was to zoom in on the daily on this, that chop would kind of represent this same area, much shorter, because I mean right here you're looking at 20 days or so, maybe let's say 25 when the downtrend started. And if we go back over to last market cycle, you can see that from the bottom up was about 44%. And the time from the last or the initial drop to the end it's almost 111 days. So if we're in this part of the cycle, in the short term, maybe even a few months, the market could get bullish again. But that does not mean that we are still in a bull market. And I'm saying that to you as a friend and a fellow crypto investor, no matter what your edge is in this space. So zooming out a little bit so you can see both edges of the chart. You can see that these two zones are still going to be the same two areas where retail gets wiped out, because they're going to make sure we get as bullish as possible and go balls to the wall as much as possible, because somebody has to be exit liquidity. Now, here's the twist. It kind of looks like it's happening again. Possibly the same pattern, possibly not. Remember, trading is nothing more than predictions, and I'm just some dad, a fellow teacher, educator, who is talking about the markets to his computer with a light in front of his face. But I believe if this happens, this isn't a correction. It's going to be an absolute structural shift and a multi-year downtrend. So taking a look at my next Bitcoin chart, right here, there's really one line in this chart in the near term that I truly believe is what we need to be watching. This one line on the chart is going to decide whether we try to attempt to get right back up to 100K or we're going to dump down to 70 or something, in my opinion. Of course, these things can take time to play out. But the yearly open is sitting right at about 93.5, and this is our gate, okay? And to be quite honest, we hit major resistance here. The gatekeeper slammed the gate in our face and busted our nose. We are now retreating back home, regrouping, and trying to figure out what's next. If we manage to break through 93, I'm going to try to zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. Okay, see that white line? This is 93, and we kind of got above it just a little bit. Sorry, I had it set wrong. Right about here. We wicked above it just a little bit, as you can see, but we sold off here. We sold off here, and now we're rejected. And we're probably going to reject right back down to around 87, maybe even as low as, say, 86.8. And the lower part of the range I have marked around 80 to 83. If we get back down there, I will be probably going heavy long with a tight stop. And honestly, if you want to get some of our calls like this, or you just want to follow my trades, learn more about crypto and DeFi, check out dadsdefispace.org and join our free Telegram group. Links in the description. I share all my analysis, all of my trades there first. Sometimes we like to base post them too. They then get written into articles and then eventually made into videos. So if you want the info quick, consider joining. Link in the description. And you can also help support the channel by checking out some of our exchange links, Layer Bank, affiliate, deposit bonuses, lots of reward campaigns. Take advantage of it. Come trade with us, and it helps support the channel. And my other go-to leverage exchange is Blowfin. If I'm not using those two, I'm probably using a decentralized exchange like Avantis or maybe even Hyperliquid. Now, back to the video. So if we manage to get back above 83.5K, I think that Bitcoin could make a run for 100 to a 101 region, which is right back here, 99.8. That's the, excuse me, the 50-week moving average. If we get there, our next line is going to be, 106 and then 112 to around the 115 area. If we can get back above that 112, 115 area, yes, Bitcoin could get to all-time high again. And even though I believe this could be the bear, we can get back up to all-time highs, something to consider in this market. Now, the next thing I wanted to look at is the bull case. How could Bitcoin explode, right? So as we were saying, if Bitcoin breaks and maintains support above 93.5K, we could make a run for 100. If we make a run to 100K and get support back there, which obviously is probably going to be a harder spot to get back above than what we've already been trying to do with 93.5. But likewise, if we were to take a look at the Ethereum chart, it needs to get back above 3K. We have a long way to go before I'm going to put my bull party hat back on. So talking about Bitcoin, I want to talk also about the bear case. So Bitcoin just last night had a rejection at 93.5K. Look, I don't believe this is a dip. We're going to go back down, possibly even more. If we get back into the 87K region, I'll probably be taking some more profits on my shorts. These are trades that it's actually a hedged kind of swing trade, and I scalp as we get towards support and resistance. It's been working really well for me. Again, I'm just a guy talking to his computer, and none of this is financial advice, but these shorts have been printed, and we'll let you take a look at those in just a minute. But again, alts have been underperforming. We've had repeated rejections at the yearly open. And to be quite honest, even if we break through and the bull market continues on into 2026, and to do that, we have to break back through the all-time high. Really, we need to get back above right here, in my opinion. What is it? 113, right? If we were to do this, Bitcoin could move on, and maybe people get those highs they were talking about, 150K, 160K, etc. But if that are to happen, we're going to put in a triple top, right? Here's this cycle. We have, right? Let me go to the weekly. It'll show it a little better. You have top one, which was almost a double top, and then another top here, and you're expecting to have a third top. Triple tops usually mean that we're about to face probably an extended drawdown, probably more than any kind of bear market that we've had as far as time in the past. Just something to consider when you are thinking about your investment thesis. So what does this mean? And I want to talk a little bit about my own personal strategy right now. Look, we're going to take a look at some of my trades. Yes, this is my total account. As you can see, we are up 77% over the last 3 months, 131% over the last month to a negative 10% on Bitcoin. So this account has performed extremely well, right? Next, I wanted to take a look at just some of my futures. Give it a second to load up. But all of these strategies have made me 200% on trades, 150% on trades. Like, these trades have been looking nice. Look right here, 208% on a Bitcoin long. Why? Because we entered at 84.6K. It's still in profit right now, and we have our stop loss set. So it is pure profit at this point. We like to trade with strategy, with conviction, and with a plan, of course. Second thing, this Ethereum short 41X, sitting at 233% profit. We've already shaved off a few $100 of profit. So if we were to close this right now, looking at $1,000 of profit on a very mild investment. We also took an Ethereum long. This one's sitting at 2,737. It's up 204%. And then our final trade is a Bitcoin short. We took at 93.1, which is an excellent entry if you go back and rewatch our analysis, and up 217%. And if this goes down to 87, these are going to print even more. So we may move our stop losses up even more so. Right now, if I was, I can't make any recommendations. I'm not a financial advisor, but if I was new to this, I definitely would be trading with much, much lower leverage, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. I start low and we add leverage as we get more confident in the trade. Now, let's take a look at and have a discussion of what most traders miss in this space. Okay. First off is you need to pay attention to Bitcoin and Ethereum. They are the leaders. And as far as the altcoin market is concerned, Ethereum is a leader. If Ethereum is bleeding back to Bitcoin, usually altcoins are bleeding back to Bitcoin. So ETH is my early warning signal for the entire altcoin market. And we will take a look at the Bitcoin Ethereum chart in just a minute. Now, taking a look at the Ethereum chart, you can see that our major resistance is sitting right at around 3,000 to say 3,100, right? And right now, Ethereum is sitting right around $3,022. We have resistance at about 120, 3,450, and up here at 3,000, let's just call it 3,800, right? Now, if I go to and by the way, you all do know that if ETH had a nice little pump the other day, right? If you take a look on the daily, you can see this a little bit better. Ethereum literally pumped from the bottom to the top about almost 20. And this was from the Fusaka upgrade. This upgrade is going to make wallet integration much easier for the retail investors out there. You won't have to worry about private keys. Transactions are going to be cheaper. There's a lot of stuff with this upgrade that I do believe is bullish for Ethereum. And that is something to take consideration, especially for someone like myself who likes DeFi lending, yield farming, and playing on the base blockchain. So let's take a look at that Bitcoin Ethereum chart. There we go. I've shown this chart on my channel for ages. I mean, look, you can go way back here and you can see we were in this downtrend for multiple years. And this right here, and people say there's no alt season. Yes, we were kind of cheated this cycle, but do you notice something? Ethereum pumped about ETH Bitcoin pumped 138%, right? And now we've been in a downtrend really since the end of August. The bottom, about a 30% downtrend. ETH could literally go down 50% more. Easy. So if we truly are in a bear market, be careful out there, right? But this is my trick, and I'm going to show it to you, right? Ethereum is showing strength to Bitcoin, in my opinion, and you saw this with the news with the upgrade and then Ethereum's response. I marked some flags on my chart because we don't know what's going to happen here, but if you notice, Ethereum has been tapping into this downtrend channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9, 10, 11 times. And the more we bounce into an area, the more likely we're going to break through the area. So I'm getting a little weary on Ethereum. If we were to break down into this range. We can easily get back into the 0.02 range. I'm keeping a heavy eye at 0.03, 0.032. Right now we're sitting at 0.033, almost 0.0334. But this is one you really should keep an eye on. If Ethereum gets back down in this range where this pump occurred, altcoins are going to be annihilated, and I'll probably be cutting practically everything at that point. But again, not financial advice. These are just how I see things and how I'm playing the game. So when you look for this, right, I am not reacting yet. I'm going to wait and see how the Ethereum Bitcoin chart reacts to this trend line, right? Are we going to break back into my blue downtrend into this yellow box? Here's how most people lose money. They trade what they feel, not what this chart's telling them. I've been guilty of this myself. If I wasn't guilty of this, I would have sold all my altcoins back at the end of August, and you probably would too. But the thing is you have to watch these weekly closes. It's so important. And we're looking at this on the daily. If I take it on the weekly, you can see that we've tapped into it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going to bleed more, ETH or BTC, because that's going to really affect my portfolio allocations, right? So again, ETH is that early warning signal. 3K is my critical reclaim, and I'm keeping an eye on this chart, and we'll look at it at some more live streams in the near future. So before I get off the live stream, I wanted to take a look at some of my DeFi lending positions, and we are going to be deleveraging them. Right now, you're taking a look at my Moonwell protocol. This is an Ethereum protocol, lending protocol. It's on Ethereum, it's on Base, and Optimism, some other chains. Anyway, what I like about this is that there's other assets I can loan. Now, as you know, I've gotten mostly out of my virtual position. There's just things that I haven't been happy about, especially with their VE and staking program. I haven't made a lot of content on it, but I have not been as bullish on virtuals as I have been. But within this same protocol, I can lend Arrow. As you can see, we got a nice little small Arrow bag we're lending on here, and an Ethereum bag. Now, what we're going to be doing is taking out some of our supply a little bit later in the day, and we'll be paying off some of our USDC loans. We might even borrow some Ethereum or some Arrow token, which I wish I would have borrowed out 2 days ago. That would have been much better. If I were to go over to Aave, I can show you on my Aave base portfolio. We already the other night rotated $300 of our loan into Ethereum, and it has saved us $60 because we're sitting at 241 right now. This rotation occurred last night. We're making 2% interest on it, but that's not the point. The point is we borrowed Ethereum. Ethereum's price has now dropped, and now we owe less money on our loan, which is awesome. So there are shorting strategies that you can use using DeFi lending, and this is just a taste of it. We will make a more long-form video on leverage lending in the near future. But what I wanted to talk about towards the end of the stream is our creator coin on the Zora block, or Zora, within the Zora ecosystem. And I will put a link in our thing. See, Dad's DeFi Space is our personal creator token, father teacher, DeFi investor, and part-time degen. It's a little bit of everything. We base post, we post our trades. I put video content on here that is being coined and downloaded. Some memes, silly stuff my kids have made. Here's one of our trade cards from our hedge trade that was pretty popular. It's down now. But as you can see, it's just a placard of our trade. People love this stuff. And if you take a look, some of this has been quite lucrative. We have invested in a few new coins like Paper Media. For a larger account, this new one, Mr. Lightspeed, seems really with it, and I could see this maybe even going into a higher market cap. This is also one that on some dexes you can provide liquidity for, and we're going to be researching creator coin liquidity farming in the near future. I hope to be making a video on it. We're going to create a farm, or not create a farming pool, but provide or create into a new dad's DeFi space farming pool, possibly pairing the coin with Bitcoin instead of Ethereum, but something that I want to accumulate. And then finally, I wanted to show you a couple other creators that I have really enjoyed getting to know and buying some of their content, and that is Fuzzy Tater over on Zora. Go check his stuff out. Artistic Minnow, another great account, real person. These folks are building their coin. They don't want to sell. I'm more of a trader. We build our coin, but we also kind of swing trade it a little bit. Same thing with different creators we invest in. I just posted our yield farming masterclass. This is an oldie, and you can check it out if you download the free DeFi course. Just go to Dad's DeFi Space. There's a link in the description. And one of my favorite creators on there I've talked about many times, 8-Bit Base, who likes to do a lot of videos. And his account truly reminds me of playing 8-bit Nintendo back when I was a kid. Just love this stuff. But if you want to become part of that base airdrop, you need to be on the base blockchain creating. And how do we do that? We do that with Zora. If I get some more base app invites, I'd love to bring some more of you on and just be building, creating, and providing stuff for that base network. That is what they want us doing. They don't want us just providing liquidity, although we are farming on Aerodrome. They want us to create, to build, to trade. Now, final thing I was going to take a look at before the end is just a quick little rundown of some positions within our VFAT portfolio. I haven't even checked these in quite a bit. That's okay. And I hope to make a video in the next couple days with some new liquidity pools, a Pendle portfolio, and a tutorial on DeFi Buddy created by Crypto Labs Research. Now, if you take a look, I only have 2 deposits, right? I've been farming Jesse on base. We've earned just a little bit. Now, this one is down a little bit, earning around 100% APR. And then we have a Zora wrapped Ethereum, earning about 266. We pretty much have been farming mostly on base and Aerodrome, but one thing I wanted to show you, they have just bridged Solana to the base blockchain. So I now can pair Post and Zora with Solana, not just Zora, which I like this because I like the tokenomics of Solana a little better. Now, if you take a look, you're going to probably start to see a lot of Solana tokens tradable on the base blockchain. If you go check out our X account, CryptoZone 1013, we did a post about this, a little bit of crypto drama going on between the creator Solana and Jesse Pollock at base. And then, as you can see here, we have other creators that you can farm. Docker right here. I've been considering that one. Let's see if we can find any more. Some of these I actually have to go into the Uniswap pools. There's a lot more liquidity of these creator tokens on Uniswap. Let's see if we can find that. Give me just a second. It's pretty awesome. Let's play around with this one a little bit. I'm going to put $10 into this Docker. We'll just do $12.64. I can remember that. I'm going to put $12.64 into this Docker ZXBT wrapped ETH pool. It's earning like 2,500 and something percent, which is nuts. Our range is pretty dang small. We're going to do a 20% range either way, cut this APR down just so it stays in range more. See how that works. We'll deposit. They're very low liquidity pools. I don't like that. That means you can't really put a lot of capital in because you are going to get a lot of slippage when the position is created within the liquidity pool. And you're probably going to see a lot more content over the next couple months that is going to be crypto education, DeFi education, maybe even creator coin and base network education, and get back to the root of why we started doing this. I also want to build out some more coursework, and a lot of that content, as we're making it, we can share through our different network systems. So please remember to like and subscribe so you'll never miss a video, and go follow us over on X. Check out the webpage. Go follow us on Zora. I'm on Farcaster, Instagram. Love to talk to you. And if you have any questions or want to know, like, hey, what could I'd like you to make a video content on this or that, then put it in the comments. Send me a Telegram message. I will get back to you. I love hearing from you guys. But anyway, I hope that was an informative market update and stream today. And those of you all who were on Zora on the live, I hope you enjoyed it too. If you came in, sorry that I can't keep up with any messages that may have came into the stream, but I love each and every one of you. Enjoy your weekend. Stay warm. Touch some grass. Until next time. Peace.